Hey, Tess here. So in this video, we're going to cover up a part. First of all, this is going to be probably my first video that I'm going to upload to my YouTube channel. The first proper video. So congrats on that. Secondly, I'll be covering out on the aspects on how the development cycles, like how a person actually develops and where you crash. It's like a cycle, right? Again, this everything is impromptu. So when you start this cycle of coming into here and starting this wonderful journey of learning a new skill. Okay, I think I need to step back a bit. Okay, great distance. So when you start to learn acquire a skill, maybe it's shooting, or maybe it's boxing, fighting, or martial arts. Then you have writing, reading, and lots of skills, programming and stuff. So you have these different types of skills, but there's a universal way that every single one, and I'm not excluding anyone, every single one that I know has, every single one falls into this universal way of they learning this universal pattern. They acquire the skill in this proper, like, this fundamental pattern. Nothing. It doesn't go against that. Nothing goes against that. Every single one follows this pattern. And this is how it works. So to give you a rough idea, it's called the stages of change. So how you change while you acquire the skill. So this is like kind of a rough sketch on how the stage of change works. So yeah, it's kind of this line chart. It might go this way. You can see, as you can see, some dotted lines over here, but usually it goes from a bottom line to the top. And I'm going to explain you every single stage that here you can see over here. So starting from the first stage, this is called the motivation, or you can call it any phase. The idea that you want to learn or acquire the skill. You might be thinking in a random day, you might be thinking, oh, I think I should learn photography. Oh, I think I should learn coding, programming. I can be a programmer, I can be a hacker. you know a random thought, or maybe a very planned, or a thought. It can be a thought. You don't have to go over it. It can be a thought. And for that thought, there, when it comes, when it begins, you start from here. Here, it is called uninformed optimism. When the idea comes into your head, about learn this new skill, and the countless number of things comes into your head. Oh, this can happen. If I learn this skill, I can go up to this point. If I learn this skill, this thing would happen. These wonderful things, these wonderful doors would open. People would like me more. I would be more greater than I'm right now. I can make I can make my parents proud, my friends proud. I can make everyone in my circle proud if I learn this single skill. And yeah, that's called uninformed optimism. You get, your mind starts to think about the wonderful uh like the optimistic side of learning that skill. It's just wonderful and glory at the first days. And as you proceed, you at the first few days, you start to actually do the stuff that you maybe follow a YouTube course, or you follow a course, you try reading a book, or you just maybe it's not a skill that you can acquire from anywhere else. You just try to do it from experience, and you do it, the whatever you're doing, for maybe a couple of days, couple of maybe, if it goes according to, like, if you're in luck, maybe weeks. And every single time, everywhere, when you try to learn this thing, so since this is how the chart goes in the first few days, it's a straight up line like this. It goes slowly up, day by day. You're passing this line, and you meet here. Let me just show you this. Hmm. Wait, isn't there? Okay, here. You go up like this, and you meet at this point, and that point is where you start to see the non-optimistic side of this. So you start to see all the difficulties all the barriers that goes against you, learning that skill. So maybe you're learning programming, all of a sudden there are barriers. Maybe you don't have a computer, maybe your mom tells you not to use a computer, or maybe you have too much work, you're stuck at work, you're stuck at your job, you're too busy at work, you're too busy at life, maybe your girlfriend broke up, maybe you're emotionally stressed. So there are trouble, a lot of trouble. Yeah, there might maybe a small trouble, but there will be things coming right after, maybe at right after a few days that you start acquiring, to learn the skill, and that is called informed pessimism. Now you start to realize about the downsides of learning the skill. The barriers. You start to see the barriers and not just the optimistic side or just the benefits, the upsides of this new skill that you're trying to learn. And when you go into that stage, you stay there for several days or weeks or months or years, maybe a decade. Nobody knows. It depends on the person. So, see, in this line, after this, after you start seeing the barriers and they start coming straight at you, if this is you, the barriers they start coming at you, they're attacking you continuously. And what happens is that your level, or maybe your confidence, might be your work that you're doing, everything just goes down like this. It just goes down for several weeks, several days, several months, depends. So yeah, just goes down. You see yourself going down. So if you were at this level, if your productivity or whatever you're trying to do, if your work level, or if your working pace was at this level at the start, and you increased about this, and then you still fail, you come across failure, and it's not easy. Like you gotta bear it, and come across failure, and you go down, 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 and yeah, you just keep going down like this. And yeah, this is another crucial point. So if we zoom in, you can see when you come down across here, and here there's a bend towards two sides. One goes down, and one is a curve that bends it towards up. And yeah, that is very interesting. It's one of the most, let's say, this might be the most game changing, or let's say one of the wonders of learning this skill, learning a skill, or it's one of those wonderful places that you get to know, like that life changing situation, the life changing moment, the life changing person appears in front of you, that every single thing magical happens here. Here's where the magic happens. So this is where the trouble, this is the point where all of the trouble, from the past, you've been facing a lot of trouble, a lot of difficulties, and in the past you've been facing a lot of difficulties, a lot of trouble. And now you came across this point where you now are facing your deepest, your deepest. And when I say your deepest, wait, that wasn't emphasized enough. Your deepest. It's testing your deepest patience here. So you've been burning your brain cells, burning your bodies over and over again for straight up to months or weeks or years, right? And you come to this point. And most people here, maybe 90%, maybe 80%, go towards this path because they give up at this point. of learning that skill. I mean, and this curve doesn't just have to be, this line doesn't just have to be 2 or 3 months. It can be 2 days for this dotted line to appear in front of you. So the moment you give up, you go with this side, this direction. But if you are strong enough, if you can bear anything, if you really want to acquire that skill, like you're saying, like, I need to learn this because why not? Because I started this challenge because I want to learn this skill, and you get motivated. You take the courage, you take everything that you have inside of you, and then you don't decide to go towards this path where 99% of people go. Instead, you, the 1% who does everything differently and don't give a fuck about what the world thinks, goes with this path. He still sticks. He sticks. So he sticks into it. He works hard, works his ass off, and none other than this. By the way, this state is called the crash and burn. So you crash and burn. You burn out your brain cells, and you give up at this. But some people don't give up, and the curve goes up. And here is where you find informed optimism. Informed optimism means, like, you're learning the skill, and you face this difficult situation where you have face all of this unbearable, stressful, and very tensioning troubles that comes against you within that goal. Maybe you're trying to learn photography, maybe you're trying to learn programming, maybe you're trying to learn singing. There might be lots of trouble. Take it from my experience. I'm trying to start this business, and there's a lot of trouble that comes for me. School, there's classes, there's education, there's time, there's family, loads of shit. And here comes there I come to this point. So talking about me, so I started this business. That business mindset came to me when I was a child, 2 or 3 years ago. So then I tried learning, watching these videos, watching these motivational, let's skip motivational for now. But I've been watching day trading. I've been watching, like, a lot of things, lots of things that makes money, how to make money. So how to make money, I went up, and I found the difficulties, maybe school, maybe time, difficulty, and I came up to this point, and I kept reducing my it reduced my potential. It drained my energy up to this point, and at this last point, I gave up. That's how it feels to give up. You just give up. But now, recently, after my second attempt, I didn't give up, and now, I mean, I'm still at this stage. I'm still at the this reducing scale, but still, I've never given up. But still, that challenge is with you, right? The challenge comes to you. But if you stick, like, long enough to that goal, to stick to learning that skill, okay, you don't go to in this part, you go in this curve that bends back up again, and you pass that ordinary level, and now you see yourself going up and up, and you don't go down. That's when informed optimism comes. So when you identify those troubles that I said earlier, my troubles were family, school, time, and all of those classes that I had to attend, and my education as I'm a school kid, right? So because of all of that, those troubles came up to me. I was so stressed out, and that was informed pessimism. And right after informed pessimism, after I sticked into it, one day, okay, let's say that was you in the past. You come across that informed pessimism, but later on you stick to it. Now you start seeing results. What do I mean by results? You start seeing actual results, good results, not like bad results. Not bad grades, not the society making fun of you, or just saying this your plan fails. You are an idiot of not choosing this path, not choosing our path. You're choosing your own path. You're an idiot. You start seeing them reducing, or you might see the opposite of the haters. Haters will always hate. I mean, of course, but still, you get what I mean, right? Start seeing results. Maybe you make money. You finally learn the skill that you're trying to learn. Maybe you took the perfect photography and you win some kind of competition, or you win some kind of contest, or you gain your followers. Your maybe you gain you just reached your goal. You see the milestones and you reach one of those milestones, and now you're happy that you're in that position, and now you have that courage in you to now try and go and win. And the other ones, like you know that, okay, I will still have to go to that, that reducing scale part. I just have to stick onto it so that I don't go towards that dotted line. I just go on a bent curve that goes up. So what I need to go, where I need to go is that up. So if I, in order for me to go up, I need to not give up, stick into it. And that's where you go from the slight motivation, informed optimism. You go down the difficulties, the troubles, and all of these. You stick up. You don't give up. You still don't give up. You just bury it in your mind, and now the scale goes up and up and up and up, and boom, you're successful. It's how the thing goes. It's how the thing goes for learning skills. And every single milestone that you catch upon, it can happen. This can happen anytime that you try learning a new skill. So maybe you have different milestones in your life goal, and every single time that you reach that milestone, you will recognize this pattern, this universal pattern that you will face every single day. So what I try to say is that pattern will always be there, like always be there, but you just have to stick onto it. Just stick onto it. don't don't let your difficulties, don't let your barriers drag you down. Don't let them. They're just things that are here to tell you you cannot succeed, you cannot go up, right? Those are the things meant to just bring you down. It's up to you to decide whether you go down or stick into it. Wait, I'm gonna do that part again, just for the practice. And it's up to you to decide whether, well, well, I let my difficulties, I let my problems just drag me down, or I stick up, I grab all of my strength that I have, I don't give up, I stay with the thing, and then I move forward with all of my strength, and now I see that curve bending upwards, and I go up, so go down, but still go up. Get what I mean? Yeah, you should, right? So the moral of this episode is that just don't give up. You will see that curve. You go with that path. Always, you will always go with that path where it goes down, but still you will catch up to yourself now going up later on. So yeah, it's gonna be a thing that you'll find when in your near future, and future me, of course. If you're watching this, hi, I'm Tess. I'm 16 right now. This is May. This is May 19th, 2026. So it's been past my birthday. I'm 16 now. So hi, happy about you. I hope you're doing well. For my future self, I hope. Why am I doing the ums? I know that you're an entrepreneur. I know that you're making money. I know that acquiring your skills. I know you've given up all the bad habits. I know you've been successful, of course. I know you've been achieving your goals ever since this time that I'm 16. I know, because I never want to fail you, right? I know I've been doing mostly everything right, and I've been preparing my mindset, my conscious mind, my subconscious mind to think, to lead me to unconsciously or consciously lead me to that goal of me. What I do is what defines me. So I know that I'm doing the task that gets me towards my future goals. So yeah, future me, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of where you are right now. I know that you're in a good place. I know that, right? Because I know that. I hope so. Not I hope so. I know that. Yep. Tess has less. No. Tess has Lynn.